In the second module, we are going to discuss about project feasibility. Basically, evaluation of project feasibility. During the project feasibility stage, service provider does an analysis of the feasibility of outsourcing as well as business competency to handle the process. Regulatory and compliance issues aspects are also looked by service provider. At the same time, risk analysis conducted. Like any initiatives that is worth doing, a feasibility study should be managed as a formal project. The same must have features. Project charter, subject matter expertise, the technology, then governance body, and project plan, when and who. Basically, we do need a simple but clear project charter, and secondly, the dedicated project team with members focusing on subject matter expertise in the function under the review, technology, functional modality, legal, etc. Then technology. When I'm talking about technology, latest technology is required to meet all requirements or respective complete all requirements. Governance body to represent the appropriate stakeholders, oversee the project and decide on the final recommendation. A project plan, what, when, who, for the whole of the project. Projects are formally authorized through the use of project charter. The project charter will define the reasons for the project and assign a project leader or manager as well as detail specific goals and details. It is a vital resource throughout the life of a project that serves to manage budgets, timelines and expectation. Here we will discuss in length that why we use the project charter, and later that what a project charter is, list all its elements and tips for creating one, and give a detailed example of what a project management charter should look like. Why use project charter? Many organizations use the best practices templates to streamline the documentation process. This helps their project begin successfully. Here I am going to mention couple of tips on where to start when tasked with writing a project charter and how to use it more effectively. First of all, involve the right parties. The project charter will help to get the primarily stakeholders and sponsors involved in the project. Their involvement will aid in recognizing potential risk and providing insight for how to solve them. This will help to limit any significant delays or financial catastrophe throughout the duration of the project. Then second thing is identify the risk. Take some extra time to troubleshoot any potential risk that may pose a possible threat to the success of project. Consider possible alternatives or resolution to the risk. A risk management statement helps in determining next steps in case problem does arise. Always refer back to project charter. The finalized project charter should be used to guide the project to completion and referred to frequently. It is a good idea to set up periodic check-ins with the project team to make sure that the project is following the charter. How templates looks like. Every company has standard set of templates to use for project and project charter. A project charter contains the definition for what is considered a successful project, including identifying metrics and necessary resources. Once approved, the charter serves as the communication link between the project team and the sponsor, which is a customer, throughout the lifespan of the project. Any updates or requests to the scope of project after it has been proved or referred to as out of the scope. When an update or change is required, a change request document must be submitted to both the project manager and the sponsor. A change request will usually include impact on the project timeline, schedules, estimated cost, resources needed to fulfill the change request, level of risk associated with the making the change. In order to avoid any confusion, the project sponsor is required to formally approve all the scope changes. The project manager will typically retain additional documentation that provides detail regarding the status of the project, including a communication strategy, an issues log, a change management log, a world schedule, a budget, and a risk log. Also, once a project charter has been approved, make sure to verify any change or update that have been made to it. If changes are required, to do so only after obtaining the proper approval from those involved. Project management charter template basically looks like, which includes following sections. First is project title, project team, general project description, objectives, deliverables, scope, milestones, budget, constant, assumptions, risk, external dependencies, communication strategy, stakeholders, project approval, and if some appendix is there. I will discuss about subject matter expertise. Subject matter expertise contribute as one member of a larger development team. Skill in navigation the teamwork environment is essential for success. This challenge is even greater than SME work with a geographical scattered team. There are four critical responsibilities every SME must perform well to be effective in the role. These responsibilities are: number first, manage workflow. Poor workflow management result in unnecessary stress and frustration. Unresolved workflow problems can eventually lead to job dissatisfaction and the loss of team members. While changes are inevitable in any work situation, the changes created by poor workflow management are preventable. The key to workflow management is organization. Create a simple system for organizing information. Keep everything related to project in one location. Store project documentation including emails, schedules, outlines, first draft and revisions in paper or electronic folders. Using folders makes information easier to locate, saving time and reducing irritations. Second thing, use a calendar to track deliverables, dates, deadlines and reminders. Because dates are subject to change, using an electronic calendar such as Outlook or Google Calendar help prevent confusion. Number third, keep detailed record of project activities. Not only in this essential for payment, but it also helps SME learn how long it takes to complete various activities, resulting in improved planning and time management. Always ask questions: how, when, what, why. Details are easily overlooked in a team setting because team members share information frequently, often on a daily basis. In this environment, it is important to ask questions when information is confusing, inconsistent or incomplete. Sometimes clients simply forget to share all the details. It is better to ask questions now than deal with the problem later. Problems caught earlier in the project tend to easier to solve them. Problem caught near the end. Build relationship. One of the challenge of the working remotely is that distance between team members is often not only a geographical issue but a social issue. Working remotely can be isolating, which can lead to job dissatisfaction, and member are important. Strong working relationship contribute to improved project outcomes and greater job satisfaction, while reducing conflict and misunderstanding. Responding to emails and call promptly is an as easy a way to build strong relationship. Personal communication style differ. Some individuals prefer more frequent contact with the team members, others are comfortable with less. Either way, adapting to a communication style of the team members encourages more productive work relationship. Accept the changes. As the saying goes, change is the only constant. The work environment of a development project is chaser. It's like chaser. Deadlines shift, meetings are cancelled, team members leave, client requirement changes, deliverables require revision, and so on. How do successful subject matter experts cope with the changes? They accept it as resisting change that is beyond the control of subject matter experts does little more than prolong avoidable. Subject matter experts who are flexible, positive, and accept changes will be less frustrated when change eventually occurs. Now we'll discuss about technology. Technology has a major role to play in service transition, and this should be designed in an mechanism for maintaining and maximizing benefits from technology must be in place. In most cases, the business process under review will be supported by the technology of some form. This may range from a single integrated global enterprise resource planning system through various regional ERP version to stand alone software applications. I would like to mention some of them like communication systems, servers, internet, network support, application, software security, and hardware. Assessing these technology from the provider delivery centers is necessary for service delivery. The service provider has to plan in advance to implement workflow technology within its delivery center to support its control to the process. Extending workflow functions, which can be upstream and downstream of the provider run process, can also offer benefits of transparency. Governance body. The transition governance model must provide clear accountability, which cultivating collaboration between the service provider and client. It should be multi-layered, allowing decisions to address at an appropriate level of management and providing for escalation. The immediate transition team should handle day-to-day transition decisions, while tactical and strategic decisions should be escalated to more senior leadership. Precisely. The transition team must be experienced in utilizing the model and understand the impact of risk and changes, as well as when to take action and when to escalate to be effective. The governance model must be supported by management operating system that manage each governance forum together with the attendees inputs, decisions, and outputs. The governance model must also be fully supported by both the service provider and the client in terms of engagement and participation. Most of the BPO companies employ a three-tier strategic, tactical, operational governance model. This structure empowers the transition team to effectively perform day-to-day management while providing for the escalation of the risks, issues, or changes that will impact the success of a transition and ultimately the delivery of the business case. Project plan: what, when, and how. Details are easily overlooked in a team setting. Team is sitting because team members share information frequently, often on a daily basis. In this environment, it is important to ask questions when information is confusing, inconsistent, or incomplete. Sometimes clients simply forget to share all of the details. It is better to ask questions now than deal with the problems later. Problem caught early in the project tend to easier to solve than problem caught near the end. Planning how, when, where, by whom the process transition will be implemented, monitored, managed, and administrated is an important step to ensure what is promised will be delivered. A project plan provides a structured and systematic approach. So thank you so much. In upcoming module we will discuss about process mapping.